Alright, what's up guys? Have game number 1 of a series between TangZangPang and Twisted Fusion. This is back at round 3, Gold Division HoN Tour Cycle 5. And we're going to have to get through these a little bit quicker than previously have over the last couple of weeks because Cycle 6 will be coming up next weekend. And this weekend, if you happen to catch it right now, or the VOD, or whatever, there's a 5v5 Cup that'll be covered on HoNcast on Saturday and Sunday. That's at the typical HoN Tour time, 18 CET, 12 ET. So, a bit of a public service announcement, and for those of you on VODs, you're probably too late, but I'm sure you can go catch the action as well. Because if the VODs are up for this, the VODs are probably up for that too. So, anyway, let's get into this game proper. I do not have a solo co-caster today. It's going to be a solo, as timing's a little bit odd for other people, and therefore they were unable to make it. I've been a little bit of a weird schedule the last few days because of holidays and stuff like that. Still trying to get in as many casts as I possibly can, and in the meantime, that's going to be one of them. Or this is going to be one of them. So, we will see Twisted Fusion taking on TangZangPang, and two teams that are very, very evenly matched, in my opinion. Twisted Fusion a little bit on the decline, and TangZangPang a little bit on the ascension, or what's the literal opposite of decline? I don't even know. Anyway, TZP getting better the last couple of cycles. Twisted Fusion made it to Diamond once, and since then have not looked great. They lost Time to Die, who is he's ringing for Rex. I'm not sure if he's actually part of that team. He's kind of hopping around right now, looking for a team, as well as Archie Tiger, who ended up on Chat Roulette Boys, but that team might also be done as well. Either way, two of their better players have departed, and I know that since Cycle 5 ended, to Slot Please, Twisted Fusion's captain, has also stopped playing HoN, so this is definitely a team in some flux. They're not really sure, I don't think, who they are quite yet, and they need to get some more experience, manage to pick up some cycle or some series wins if they can get together a little bit more than they have been in the last couple of cycles. TangZangPang, on the other hand, definitely seem to be finding their form more than they have in previous cycles. So I think right now is the intersection or so of these two teams. One was better. Twisted Fusion used to be significantly better than TZP. I expect TZP to be better going forward, and I think right now is about when they're pretty evenly matched. So enough about that. Let's talk about the actual game. Ophelia and Parasite getting taken out by Twisted Fusion. Cthulhu and Kraken being banned out by TZP. It's going to lead into Legion side, picking up Swiftblade, Rhapsody, and Puppet Master on top of Pharaoh, their fourth pick. Hellborn going to go with Tempest, Bubbles, Empath, and Gauntlet. Legion bans in the second stage are Magmus, Dr. Repulsor, Silhouette. Hellborn are going to remove Revenant, Prisoner 945, and Flux. So, no bans that are particularly insane at this point. They did leave the Swiftblade open for the first pick on Twisted Fusion, and they will take advantage of that. But they get to respond with the Tempest into the Bubbles, and looks like Legion side may not be running a jungler, as they do not have too many options left. Cupid Forest still on the board, but I don't know if they feel comfortable picking that hero up. So, looks like it might be a dual support versus a jungle lineup. And the thing that's really sticking out to me right now is the amount of greed in the Legion side. I mean, we have Swiftblade, Puppet Master, two heroes that are going to require a fair degree of farm. Pharaoh, not so much, so I like that pickup a lot, actually. It's going to be able to cancel the Tempest Ultimate. It's going to do a lot to disrupt this Hellborn team, and he's also not going to need a whole ton of farm. He's going to be able to do a lot just with levels, and he should be a strong gank presence on a Legion team that already has a fair bit of CC, but could certainly use more of it because they have a pretty high damage output. Pharaoh and Rhapsody, really, very strong combination in general as well, and Plague Rider going to be their last pick. So that's going to be the second support option, which is very strange, but we'll get into that in a second as we look at the TZP side. And they've picked up a very non-greedy lineup in direct contrast to the guys on Twisted Fusion. They really don't have too many heroes that are going to be fighting for farm. Tempest actually might be the biggest farmer of the bunch so far, so I expect them to pick up a very greedy carry. They're stopped picking the Berserker, which I wouldn't particularly like just because I'm not a huge fan of that hero. I'm not entirely convinced he's competitively viable. And I think against Pharaoh in particular, he's not going to do very well. The reduced debuff duration is very nice, but this isn't a Legion team that's going to take huge advantage of CC tools like stuns and such. The Fairy Mummy Wall is obviously not going to be reduced because Berserker's ultimate is up. The slows will be slowed down a little bit, the stuns will be reduced a little bit, but in general this is just a high damage output team with Pharaoh on top of it, and it's a Warbeast last pick, which is interesting. Crapula has played the short lane Warbeast before, and that looks like what it's going to be this time. CC has transitioned into more of a suicide role as TZP has evolved. I don't know if that's what he'll be playing here. It's very possible that we'll see Catlo main in the short or mid, and we'll see Warbeast as the suicide option, but I expect to see him in the short lane. Not only because Cal Crapula is the typical short lane carry player, but also because it makes a lot more sense to me to put him in that lane. But at the same time, I don't understand why you'd pick up Warbeast in this situation, to be honest. I feel like even a Corrupted Disciple would have been a lot better. Warbeast, a good hero, but does well in the suicide, does okay as a jungler. I don't particularly like him in that role, and I think the team should be very, very wary of running him as a jungler. He can work in some lineups, but in the vast majority, he's a little bit too passive in the woods. He doesn't start to take off quickly enough. He does have some carry potential, which not too many junglers offer, but that's, not really something that you typically look for out of a jungle hero. You look for CC, and you look for teamfight, and you look for push. And Warbeast offers one of those, really. But Tempest will be in the woods, and he's going up against a dual support on the Legion side, which means that the Hellborn will have a bit of a natural advantage, on top of the fact that they are the Hellborn team, and Hellborn do tend to win more games than they lose. So even before you get into the actual heroes, the team composition of these two teams suggests that TZP has a significant advantage just by the numbers. The other thing I have to be really concerned about personally is the Plague Rider. I think he's an okay suicide hero. He's not particularly great. Doesn't provide a lot of lockdown. He is mostly damage focused, and he requires heroes to stay next to each other. He's also very RNG based, which is a bit of an issue in general. He will get the advantage of the deny, pulling stuff, but that usually is more helpful when he's just a pure suicide. In this situation, he's going to be a second support, and I feel like there are a lot better options for that second support role. We saw Torturer and Glacius both available. I'm not a huge Torturer fan, but I like him better in the support role than I do a Plague Rider, especially because you can put a zoning support tort bot and stick the Rhapsody top lane. I think that would result in slightly better lanes. Torturer is one of the better zoning supports in the game. That's really what he excels at, and I would prefer that in general, I think, from the Legion side. But as it looks, it's going to be a 2-on-2 strat actually from Twisted Fusion, so going a bit TMM in this case. Warbeast will get the pull off successfully, and it is going to be a suicide Warbeast with the bubbles in the top lane short solo. And I don't know if TZP anticipated the lanes that the Legion side were going to be running, but if they did, this is just about perfect. Warbeast is going to get lane control back here with his wolves, and in the top lane, Bubbles basically will not die to this lane. There's more or less no way that Swiftblade can get a kill here until he hits level 6 and gets his Ghost Marchers, just because the spin is going to be immediately, shell surfed away, and then he's going to be relying on the ultimate and the Ghost Marchers to catch him up to Bubbles, and that's only if he gets significantly better farm than Catlamine on this Bubbles. And I don't know if that's actually going to happen. It's possible. Doesn't seem hugely likely though. And in this bottom lane, it's going to be Cal Crapula on the Suicide Warbeast. So dragging the creeps back, nice pull, and that's going to end up some pretty solid GPM right off the bat, 210. And he will get lane control here as well, as the Puppet Master has lost it. He's not going to be super aggressive, I don't think, but he's also given the Warcry to his fellow teammates. And Rhapsody actually make the transition in the middle lane. Going to help out the Pharaoh. They're not really a hero that I'm a huge fan of dual laning, but if you're going to do it, this is one of the two supports I would say are very, very good at it, the other one being Voodoo Jester, as Rhapsody and Pharaoh can do a lot. The dance floor, of course, on top of the mummy walls means that will do a lot of damage, and they have serious kill potential when the mummy walls are up on top of the dance floor as well. So I don't mind the rotation from Rhapsody. Actually, I like it a lot. I think that Puppet Master doesn't really need Rhapsody down here to take control of this lane. And PM, as we see, going to put some harass onto the Warbeast, who will go grab a tree. He's pretty low on regen as well, actually. He's only got 6 tangos and a couple of mana potions, which he hasn't needed too badly. But he will be getting levels, and obviously spamming that Warcry and giving a bunch of damage to his team is the most important thing for him. It's going to make Bubbles a much stronger laner, and he is getting checked on pretty heavily, but he's probably doing better than he would if it were not for that Warcry. Middle lane, Gauntlet actually not doing that well either. 250 GPM, compare that to 260 from Pharaoh, actually. They might turn this around on the Legion side now, as Rhapsody puts some counterattacks in there, along with Staccatos, and man, that is a loud ult avatar. It's the Thriller Rhapsody, in case you haven't seen. It's new for Halloween 2014. Not bad. Still not the best ult avatar in the game, of course, that's DJ Rhapsody. Anyway, Empath going to drop the wall and the Essence Link, but Rapsy going to counter with the Staccato stuns and pretty easy back off. And I'm kind of surprised that Twisted Fusion is beating these lanes as hard as they are. Bubbles in the top lane only at 130 gold per minute, and Slot is at 250, which isn't great by any means, but considering how badly Cat Lamaine is doing, it's pretty damn good, and they will definitely take it. He's also going to lose lane control here as well. Bubbles taking a lot of damage, really. He'll be forced to use a health pot. And he's going to be pretty careful about how he lanes this, because Swiftblade is doing what he can't allow Swiftblade to do, and that's get substantially ahead of him, because that's going to return into Ghost Marchers. And anyway, in the middle lane, Pharaoh going to have the dance floor on top of him, and this is exactly the problem. And Gauntlet going to be in a lot of trouble. Last couple auto attacks, are they going to be enough to finish him off? No, they're not. Now Empath looking for the autos, and Tempest coming in here with Glacial Blast. Pharaoh going to be dying as the Bloodlust. We'll see if they can get a kill onto this Rhapsody as well. I'm guessing no, and no they can't, as she just walks it off. No mana available on Empath for the wall. Gauntlet pretty low, and didn't really feel like going back in there. He didn't have enough mana for his hook anyway, so... Either way, nice turnaround as they managed to kill a Pharaoh. Gauntlet surviving just long enough for Ganal and the Tempest to rotate back in. Top lane, Bubble's going to Shell Surf away, and he could still be in some trouble. No. Swiftblade's still level 3, and still does not have anything more than just red boots, which Cat Lamaine also possesses, which means that it's going to be pretty damn hard for Slot on that Swiftblade to kill him. So this is the issue that I have with running a jungler, essentially. You look at the top lane, you see Swiftblade is beating Bubbles. Middle lane, Pharaoh is now losing to Gauntlet, but he wasn't until that Bloodlust kill, which could very well have gone in favor of the Legion side. In the bottom lane, Hellborn actually doing very, very well. Nahoy Mufasa is only at 250 gold per minute, compared that to Warbeast at 230 GPM, so it's pretty shocking how badly this lane is going for Puppet Master compared to how well it should be going, as he misses against CS right there, so bit of an issue. Either way, Puppet is definitely out GPMing the Warbeast, but you look at the jungler, and Ganal's got 360 gold per minute, and the Bloodlust obviously helping, but he's doing quite well in his farm in general, and this is the advantage of running a jungler. The side with the dual supports needs to have significant impact on those dual supports, especially in the laning phase. Gauntlet Hook gonna miss there, obviously. And we just don't see it. I mean, Bubbles is getting zoned out very effectively in the top lane, but not effectively enough. They're not getting kills on him. And he's going to use a Shell Surf to farm here, which could be a little bit iffy. Plague Rider now going to dive the tower. He's got a health bot, though, so this could get turned around in Plague's face pretty damn fast if he's not careful. Shell Surf still not up for 5 more seconds. Spin is available from Swiftblade, and Bubbles going to try to chase down. Yep, he is going to die. So that's the danger of using your Shell Surf to farm, and that's probably not a decision that Cat Lamaine is feeling particularly good about at this point. He only has 102 gold per minute, and while he's doing okay on levels, he's not doing great, and he's not substantially out-leveling even on Swiftblade. So they're going to have to do something, I think, in this top lane if they want to recover the situation, because at this point it's just... They can't let Bubbles get this far behind and expect to do too much. Tempest rotating over. He is level 6 with an ultimate. Would be fantastic. Let Bubbles hit 6, get a Kelp Field up, get a Kelp Field into 2, get a Tempest all onto 2, turn that into a double tap, and that could be huge. Gauntlet Hook going to hit there onto the Pharaoh, and they're going to trap inside the Mummy Walls. We'll see if they can turn this around. Yep, they can. Gauntlet is there. He's going to die, and that's exactly what I'm talking about. The Dance Floor does so much. Empath wants this kill on Pharaoh, but he's pretty damn tanky, and Rhapsy's going to chase her down. Essence Link is there. Tempest coming in from the side as well. Pharaoh going to put the Mummy Walls down. He's going to die, actually, and Rhapsy now going to take some stuns. We'll see if they can finish off this Empath. No, they can't, because the Tempest ultimate's there. They will kill Empath, and the Plague Rider Illusion is going to die as well. So, once again, the rotations from Tempest have been fantastic. And top lane, they wanted that kill, but didn't go for it. Probably a smart decision. Not enough mana for Swiftblade and his ultimate, and they had cover on Bubbles anyway, so. Right call. And TZP going to take a 3-2 hero kill advantage with the double tap in middle lane. Plague Rider Illusion going to rotate over. And Slot currently at 330 gold per minute, so he is the second highest farmer in the game after that Tempest, who is 1-0-2. Or 1-0-1. Really? He only got an assist on one of those kills? Yeah, I guess he didn't get the assist on the kill on Pharaoh, because only Empath ever hit him. Either way, Canal doing very, very well, and Slot is right behind him as far as the rest of the GPM goes. That middle gauntlet is doing quite well at 315. Puppet Master has picked up a little bit in this bottom lane, just over 300 gold per minute, and Count Crapula on the Warby still at 222, so not bad at all. And sitting in a pretty good position from which to recover, so that shouldn't be too hard as the game goes on for him to continue to increase his GPM. And probably going to get chased down a little bit by this Warbeast, actually. He's not going to try to turn this around. There goes the Voodoo Puppet. Yep, on top of the Puppeteer's hold, or the Puppet Show. And he's going to have to stop something. Nope, it's not going to be enough damage. He had enough mana for the Puppeteer's hold. He didn't have enough range for it, but you can use it on the Puppet. And it's very effective in that manner. Empath might get caught out here. Swift Slashes are there. They all hit on Empath, and that's really bad luck. As Tempest is also going to get caught out, it looks like. Yep, the Swift Blade Spin is there. So Swifty, now the top farmer in the game, as he takes that mantle over from the hero he just killed. 375 gold per minute, not bad at all, especially considering that was their long lane hero. Obviously, it was a dual lane, but in general, Cat Lomain cannot be pleased with his performance so far this game, and in the last series, we actually saw him be a little bit iffy on a Suicide Pharaoh that TZP still managed to come out ahead against. Shoot, who was it? They played Superheroes playing HoN. Yeah, Cat Lomain playing a Suicide Pharaoh twice. Neither time did it go particularly well, and now he's having some issues with the Suicide Bubble. So, yeah, Cat's not having the best time when it comes to this day, because I believe this match and the previous one we're playing on the same day. And top lane, Plague Rider looks like he wants to flank, get a kill here. They're gonna have to force the Shell Surf out. There's a slow, and it's not gonna be enough. Now he's gonna take one more auto attack. Nice take cover, and the kill field's there as well. And actually, Cat Lomain will survive. So that's good. Just as they're ragging on him a little bit, and he makes a very nice play to get away. Be great if he had a ward. He could see that Plague Rider coming, because if he had, it might have been a counter kill. But surviving, I think, is something he will take at this point. Doesn't really want to feed any more kills to the Swiftblade or the Plague Rider if he can help it. And bottom lane, Warbeast is here. We're looking at a teleport coming in as well. It's going to be the Gauntlet. They're going to go for this Puppet Master. Gauntlet's going to need to land the hook. Nope, just Gauntlet Blast right into the Infernal Instability. Hook back, and that's a pretty easy kill as Warbeast even pops the ultimate. Probably not necessary, but certainly fine to do so, as they want to kill the Puppet before he can get any of his CC tools out and then run away. So, solid gank from Gauntlet, hitting level 6. Teleports, had to go back to base anyway. Teleports bot. We'll pick up a kill on the opposing team's short lane carry. And that'll work well for us. Now, the only issue that plan is they have a secondary carry, or maybe even a primary carry. I mean, Mufasa is their typical carry player, so this is really a secondary carry, but it's nominally a secondary carry, at least. In practicality, it might be a primary carry, because Puppet's not getting too much. Either way, Swiftblade up top is doing quite well. Is he going to get stunned out? Yep, there's one. Is he going to win? No, Swift Slashes are there, going to be eaten by the creeps, and the ultimate from Pharaoh is also going to get eaten. And Tempest's going to run away without dropping a black hole, which is kind of interesting, because I feel like he could have countered that. And instead, no, bot lane, they do lose the Warbeast, but they're going to have a pretty serious engagement here. Empath Wall not doing too much. Infernal Instability is there. A couple more auto attacks will finish that. Tempest ultimate in the background with the Empath Link. Going on to the Puppet Plague Rider. Can they get this kill on Tempest? No, they can't. So they get 2 kills right off the bat as both Swiftblade and Plague Rider die. And Gauntlet looking for the Infernal Instability. Rhapsody to drop the Staccatos, though. Empath Link is there, and they're going to look to take the stun. They're going to need one more source of damage. Not going to be there. Shell Surf goes through, but it's not going to connect. A little bit too long of the cooldown for Bubbles to grab that kill onto Ward Cat, playing the Rhapsody. And 11.5 minutes in, we have a 6-5 hero kit advantage for TZP. They're up about 2,200 gold and 4k experience as well, a lot of which is due to the jungler. And Pharaoh is going to live, as the Hellfire did a lot to stop that auto attack from Gauntlet. So he continuously got stunned. Rhapsody ultimate didn't do too much, not quite necessary, but you can see the attempt and why they'd think, yeah, that's probably a great idea. But Mummy Walls and Hellfire from Pharaoh makes him very hard to kill. Well, 12 minutes in, take a look at items real fast. We got Bubbles currently sitting on the Steam Boots as well as the Power Supply, and what looks to be an Amulet of Exile. Maybe he will turn that into a Mana Ring, maybe he'll just turn it into an Amulet of Exile, maybe he won't turn it into anything and just sit on the stats. Tempest, for his part, has a Ring of Sorcery, as well as a Neophyte's Book, so I'm guessing that's a Storm Spirit? It could be a push book, but that'd be really weird, and I don't know why you'd get a push book on him as opposed to, like, Gauntlet. I feel like they should go for the Astrolabe on Tempest. it's going to make their team fight and push a lot better. And I feel like as a team they have better fight than the Legion side do. We're mostly single target focused. They don't have too much AoE damage on the Legion team. And Pharaoh Wrath will get a hit on the War Beast. He's going to be in some trouble. Mummy Walls are there as well, but he's going to be having enough time to pop the ultimate and run away. So Count Crapula getting caught, but counters an ultimate with an ultimate of his own and ends up surviving just fine. Speaking of him, he's got Steam Boots on top of the Ring of the Teacher and Trinket of Restoration. Yeah. So he's definitely going for the Abyssal Skull. That will be his first item. Empath sitting on just the red boots with a ward. Kelpfield on a 2 in the top lane. We have Empath coming in off to the side along with Tempest. No Tempest hold for a little while, but Swift Slashes are there. Bubble's going to try to get away. He's not going to be able to make it, though, as the spin is enough. So they try to do it with the Kelpfield. It's not successful. Plague Rider Ultimate can do some stuff here. Essence Link is there, and they're going to get inside of the Gauntlet as he drops the Gauntlet Blast onto Swiftblade. So that's one dead. Here comes Rhapsody looking for a counter onto this Gauntlet, who is pretty damn low in terms of mana. They're going to instead find the Rhapsody. Staccato stuns are on Gauntlet. He's getting locked down a little bit, but not enough. The Infernal's ability did not do anything. And that looks like that'll be the end of that engagement, and both Swiftblade and Rhapsody die in exchange for the bubbles, which is once again a situation that TZP will definitely take, as Swiftblade is the largest source of hope for the Twisted Fusion right side right now. Now, Puppet Master has recovered a little bit, 330 GPM, so not bad. And speaking of that Gauntlet, he does have Ghost Marchers along with nearly 2150 now, so he should have a portal key immediately. He's already got the gold for it if he wants it. Yeah, he buys it, and that'll be delivered to him shortly. Not bad. Count Crapula, about 150 GPM, 150 gold off of his Abyssal Skull, and that's going to be very helpful for him in terms of his overall farm, as well as the team's auras. Legion side, for the most part, looking pretty good. Swiftblade has Ghost Marchers on top of Abyssal Skull of his own, so he's not really feeling like the primary carry, instead of more of a utility carry Swift build, somewhere in between utility hero and carry hero. Abyssal Skull going to help out with that, and bottom lane actually going to drop an ultimate from Pharaoh onto the Warbeast. We'll see if they have enough damage to do this, though. We have spin from Swiftblade. Warbeast is going to die, as he doesn't have the opportunity to get his ultimate off. Voodoo Puppet going to go onto the bubbles, and he'll Shell Surf away. Tempest ultimate onto a couple. Do they have enough damage to do anything with this? Yeah, Infernal's ability doing a lot. Puppet Master and Swiftblade both getting away, not for long, though. PM dies to the hook, and in the background, Mummy Wall is going to disrupt some stuff. Staccato stuns onto Gauntlet as well, but a 2-man Kelpfield as Catlamane comes back in. Plague Rider going to be the first one to drop. Shell Surf actually going to hit Rhapsody on the back end, and she's also going to fall. Pharaoh now getting caught out a little bit, as he's sort of getting body blocked in, drops the Hellfire, trying to survive. Swiftblade's too low to do too much of anything. He's got a spin available, but he's got to be careful about these right clicks. Gauntlet's going to follow the tower, and it looks like that'll be it. Shell Surf going to go through, won't connect into anybody though. Tempest looking for something. Swiftblade has Swift Slashes available if you can manage to get the range onto somebody. Push book forward though, Empath going to drop the Essence Link, and they'll get the stun off. The question is, can they turn this? No, they can't. Swiftblade now is feeling like he wants to do something, but this is a bit of an iffy situation. Even if he jumps in there with the Swift Slashes and gets a kill, he's going to die for it. So Slot realizing that the odds were not in his favor, and will back on off. So end of that engagement, pretty significantly in favor of the Hellborn team, as they lose the Gauntlet and the Warbeast, but they managed to take 3 heroes on the Twisted Fusion side, including that Puppet Master, who is very important they shut down because he is going for the carry build. Whispering Helm is picked up on PM, and he's already taken over a creep. I don't know where it is. It's on cooldown. It's here. Okay, so it's just kind of hanging out with him, and I don't know if it was stacking this hard camp or what. I guess Legion Ancients are already triple stacked. There's no point in doing that. But PM going to rotate to the jungle a little bit and start to farm some stacks. Meanwhile, actually, we do manage to catch Pharaoh out, so let's go back and watch that from the beginning. Since I do not have a co-caster, I can do stuff like that. Always good. Gauntlet with a portal key into the Gauntlet Blast, Infernal ability, instability, and a hook. Not bad. Sick combo from Gauntlet. That's what he does. And he takes down the Pharaoh, who's reasonably tanky at this point. 967 health and Mystic Vestments. Quite quickly. Gauntlet currently level 12, and the only heroes that can match that are Tempest and Puppet Master, so doing very well on XPM. Mid tower going to be in a lot of trouble, as it's definitely going to fall. Question will be denied. No, it won't. Teleport coming in as well. Are they going to get anything for this? Skeleton King, that's going to go into Warbeast. He's going to pop the ultimate, though, and eat some of the Swift Slashes as they bounces the creeps. In the background, Bubble's going to get the silence out, and they will get the immediate kill onto Rhapsody. Looks like Empath going to jump inside of the Warbeast. We'll get some Essence Link heal off before he takes the stun. Now Plague Rider almost bounding on a whole lot of people, and here comes Pharaoh as well as he resurrects. They will get the one counter kill. Bubble's going to walk away as the Kelpfield went down, and he's going to Shell Surf back up in a second, which should allow him to be just fine. Getting all off to the side, looking for something. Has no Tempest ultimate though, so not really in a position to be taking any more fights in this team fight. So Hellborn side get a tower out of that, and they also manage to pick off Rhapsody, but they lose the Warbeast, so As far as just heroes go, not the greatest trade. As far as the overall situation go, with including the tower kill, that's pretty solid. And that mid tower, tier 1, very, very valuable in terms of map control. I've been talking continuously and very quickly for a very long time, so stuff might slow down a little bit here as we approach the mid-game, and not as much to talk about. I haven't finished going over the Legion side's items, but it looks like Puppet Master is building up into an Assassin's Shroud. He's got 1,700, 1,800 gold saved up. Pharaoh, currently sitting on just the Steam Boost Vestments bottle power supply, so lots of build-up items and lots of regen, but not too much in the way of actual items at this point. Playgrid actually wants Steam Boots. So, not a huge surprise, because he is the secondary carry, and even at 125 GPM, it's not really his responsibility to keep wards up, which means that he can spend his gold on something a little bit more consistently valuable, that doesn't expire after 6 minutes. Not to demean the value of wards, obviously, they are very valuable, but, yeah, eventually they are gone. Whereas Steam Boots are forever, man. Steam Boots are forever. But overall farm is to the Hellborn team's advantage, about 6k gold and 7.5k experience. Looks like Gauntlet's trying to do some Ancients over here. Legion Ancients are still triple stacked, and I feel like somebody should go take those sooner rather than later. They've had plenty of time to not only kill the triple stack that's already been there, but then triple stack it again. And that's not exactly the most efficient use of resources, so I would like to see a little bit more planning and efficient farm on the Legion side, if possible. For their part, Hellborn are trying to take Ancients with Gauntlet, which is a terrible Ancients killer, so hard to blame them too much. Shell Surf going to be used by Bubbles to farm once again, and he's not going to pay for this, it looks like. Actually, is off to the side. They will get the kill on a Plague Rider who's walking right into the wrong place, and Hellborn also going to find one of the Legion wards that was just placed, so Plague got to feel real bad about that situation as the ward gets countered and he dies. But Kongor Attempt's going to be the one here for the Legions to the Hellborn side. And counter ward coming out from the Legion, so that's going to spot the Hellborn's Word of Rev. But they're not going to see this Hellborn Kongor Attempt, it doesn't look like, as the Word Sight is down for Hellborn as well as a Word of Rev that's going to basically ensure that they don't have anybody sneaking up on them. And Kongor is definitely going to die here. I expect Token to go to Warbeast, as he is the one that's typically having some trouble surviving. The only person with more deaths on his team is Gauntlet, and Gauntlet has 6 kills, so he's just been more active in general. Actually, Legion going to put another ward down right in range of that counter ward, so really efficient warding by Mex, and some issues by Wardcat. On the Twisted Fusion side. Bubbles going to Shell Surf farm once again, and here comes Swiftblade looking for something. Wrath of Pharaoh not going to connect. Bubbles uses to take cover though, and that's going to be his death as he used it already to stop the Wrath of Pharaoh from hitting him. And Swiftblade's taking advantage of that. Also, it's only a level 1 take cover, so pretty solid use of it actually. That he managed to avoid the Wrath of the Pharaoh, but obviously nothing he could do about the Swift Slashes. Bottom lane, Hellborn grouping up to push once again. Warbeast is here along with Empath, and Warbeast might need to pop his ultimate soon. Yeah, he is going to do that. Plague Rider dropping a nuke, and Pharaoh going to have to catch the Warbeast, but he won't be able to. He's got a haste. He actually, if he dropped the Mummy Walls, he might have him. But no, he doesn't take the chance. So I was like, why is Pharaoh running so fast? Oh, haste rune. Anyway, Assassin's Shroud picked up by Puppet Master, so he's going to have some more gank presence at this point, and I honestly wonder if that's the right call for him to make. I feel like they do have the late game on the Legion side if they can get some of those items, and I wonder if he should have just gone like straight Firebrand or something. Assassin's Shroud is just generally a valuable item on Puppet Master, and it's one that you see a lot, but a huge part of the reason that happens is because Puppet Master is such a good ganking hero, a ganking carry, and he can do things like that. He can roam around the map and get kills and set up kills, and in this type of game, though, I'm just not sure if that's necessary or optimal, unless they're going to transition Swiftblade into more of a, carry farming role, because I don't think Puppet needs to be ganking and getting kills, and the rest of his team is very, very good at that. Gauntlet Blast on Rhapsody. She's dead. So, if they manage to get some more farm on Swiftblade, that'd be fine, but Swifty's at 400 GPM, he doesn't need help. And I think the rest of the team can run around and gank while PM just sits back somewhere with a Firebrand or some other damage item and picks up a whole bunch of CS in the jungle and in the lane. Well, short lane towers are being traded, and actually, Warby's going to pick up a puzzle box, which is great. His minions get 522 movement speed whenever he's in his ulti form, and that includes puzzle box minions. So having a puzzle box mauler and a puzzle box wizard run at you at 522 is pretty great. So mid lane tower actually does die. Wrath of Pharaoh are going to be in here, and the mummy walls, are they going to catch anybody? Pharaoh going to be in a lot of trouble. They will catch people, but he's dead. So slashes in the background actually don't go off quite yet, and that will be 2 kills on the Hellborn side. They're also going to be able to pick off Salim on that Plague Rider, as his ultimate basically just bounced between a bunch of heroes and some creeps. So real bad engagement there for the Legion side as they lose 3 heroes. They've only got the Puppet Master and the Rhapsody left to defend this push. And they got Warbeast and Tempest on the Hellborn side, which is something that I haven't talked about too much, but the Hellborn's push potential is very good between those 2 heroes. They have a lot of minion damage, which means towers going to go down very fast. Background actually, Voodoo Puppet going to go on to this Gauntlet, and he's going to push booked around. Gauntlet Blast is there. They're going to turn it on Puppet Master as well as Rhapsody. And that's 2 dead right off the bat. Pharaoh coming back with the Resurrection. And the Genocide in favor of TZP.
Destroyed a Legion tower.
This is getting real bad real fast for them. And for them on Twisted Fusion, I mean. Pharaoh off to the side looking for something. No Wrath of Pharaoh for 20 seconds. And this is going to be a base tower death, I think. So Plade's going to be back up in a couple of seconds, but Warbeast has the token. He can afford to let it die at this point. It does have a minute left on it or so, so he's going to be the target of aggression, and he's going to give it the token here in about a second. Spin goes down, and token going to bring it right back off. Wrath of the Pharaoh is going to be in and will connect onto him. Warbeast has his ultimate, of course. Push book forward to be very valuable. Essence Link is down onto Pharaoh, and he's going to be in a lot of trouble. There go the puzzle box minions, and that's going to eat the Swift Slash's bounces really, really fast. Swift Blade now in the background, in a lot of trouble. He's going to take the second death. Warbeast just running around doing ridiculous amounts of damage. Rhapsody's not going to survive. Hat trick for Count Crapula, and we'll see if he can get more. There's a quad kill. One more, and he gets the Annihilation. Will he be able to pick it up? His ulti form wears off, so he's going to need some help if he wants to do it. Bubbles is going to die as Puppeteer's hold is down, but the melee racks are definitely going to fall in favor of the Hellborn. Go hit them! Go hit them, guys! Seriously? Thank you. Gauntlet, really, wow. I don't know why he wasn't just hitting them the entire time, but Empath is inside, and they will get the melee racks in the end. Empath actually now could pay for this, as she's going to have to go off into an odd direction. Portal key back up for Gauntlet in 1 second. He's going to get it, and as Puppet Master was really, really slow to react there. Had plenty of opportunity to get that kill and could not do so. Empath's going to be able to run away with the Shriders, no problem. And Fair going to try to cut this Gauntlet off, but it's not going to be successful. So, Hellborn, they do lose the Warbeast eventually, and they also take a death on Bubbles, but they'll definitely take that for 2 towers in mid as well as a Rax. 25 minutes in. Tempest is going Sheepstick. Okay. And he did go push book, so that's not hugely surprising that Neophyte's book turned into a push book. He's also got a Shrunken Head, which is really weird to me. You have a Wrath of the Pharaoh and a Plague Rider ultimate on the Legion side, and a Swiftblade ultimate. I think Plague Rider ultimate you can cast on a Magic Immune target, I'm not sure. I know it has a mini stun, so it will cancel channeled spells. Swiftblade ultimate definitely can be cast through Shrunken Heads, and that is a mini stun, so it'll cancel channeled spells like that to Tempest ultimate. So they have at least 2 superior magic cancels to the Tempest ultimate right now, and possibly 3 if the Plague Rider ultimate works the way I think it does. So I don't really see why they'd be super keen on getting a Shrunken Head on Tempest, especially because his Tempest ultimate's probably going to be lasting very long no matter what he does. I feel like a Portal Key would be more valuable. It's once again, you're not going to have a very long ultimate. It's just not going to happen. So you might as well get yourself into a better position where you can potentially get a God Hole and be more disruptive in the background of a team fight. You don't want to be in the back and then having to push book yourself forward, which puts your push book on cooldown so you can't save people from Pharaoh Mummies, and it's just not going to give you a position that's nearly as good as the Portal Key will. So I'm a bit iffy with the build overall. I feel like push book is better on other heroes, namely Gauntlet, who actually went for a Soul's Bulwark. Bubbles could definitely have gotten a push book as well, and very well might. Actually, don't mind a multiple push book team on this Hellborn side right now. And Maul are going to go down. Also box minions, and the Wolves are doing a lot. Nahoy Mufasa. That's not great. You're not supposed to kill the Mauler, man. That's just ugly. Unbelievable. Anyway, Hellborn side, taking a pretty serious advantage. 20k, 21.5k gold, 43,000 experience.
The
That
Hellborn have
mid
destroyed
push
a
was
Legion
really
tower.
huge for them. And in the meantime, they will clear their last tier 2 towers, as the bottom one already fell, and the top one is about to. Warbeast putting a fair bit of damage into it. And Swiftlade trying to counter it a little bit with his shield breaker, but Warbeast is just like, yeah, I can do whatever I want, man. And run away if the ultimate calls for it, realizing pretty quickly Swiftlade is that he can't really take this fight. So Puzzle Box minions also come out from Warbeast, but they will be able to push this tower down very quickly if he controls them and sends them in. Yeah, there we go. Go kill tower.
The Hellborn
And
have
there's
destroyed
that
the Legion
dead. So
tower.
all tier 2's dead in favor of the Hellborn side. Legion side, meanwhile, have taken 0 tier 2s, but they've taken all the tier 1s, so they've done a solid job of pushing. Tempest has finished up his Sheepstick, and he has an ultimate available, as well as his Shrunken Head, so I believe now is about the time to push. Convoy's going to back up, actually, relatively soon, so I do wonder if they're going to wait. Actually, Farrah going to get hooked in, but they don't really want anything else. Essence Link Stun will go through after the wall, and Farrah looks like he will be just fine, as the Hellborn side have very little interest in continuing to push that, but Tempest is going to join up in the bottom lane, as he's showing his Sheepstick. Shieldbreaker continuing to be leveled by the Swiftblade, as that is his choice of damage item along with Basher. So a little bit iffy from him, in all honesty. I feel like I might have liked the Dawnbringer a lot. I don't know. I'm just not sure if he has the attack speed for the Basher to make sense. I don't know. I guess Warbeast is the real target. If you can bash him a couple of times, maybe you can lock him down long enough to kill him. It's possible. I don't know. I feel like just pure damage output would be good. Because if they get some solid Fairy Moment Walls off and the CC tools from Puppet Master are reasonably effective, then they can turn this into a pretty easy team wipe on the Legion side. For the Legion side, even. Oh well. Gauntlet Hook not going to connect as he goes in, looking for something. Farrah going to ult on top of the Tempest. They're going to try to kill him before they do anything else, and they will do so. Gauntlet Boss in the background doing something. Helpfield actually catches 2 over here. Assassin Shroud not going to save Puppet Master, but the Playground ultimate bouncing around to a whole bunch of people. The Puppet on Warbeast is actually going to help get the kill, as Swiftblade has a hat trick right now, looking for a quad kill. Wouldn't be surprised if he gets it. Portal Key away from Gauntlet in a second. Yep, he's going to TP out and should be just fine. Meantime, Bubbles manages to get away as well. Pharaoh Rocket not going to connect, as Gauntlet is already gone. So good initiation there from the Legion side. They do lose only the Plague Rider. They save their tier 3 tower, and they managed to pick up 3 hero kills on the Hellborn side, including 2 of their more valuable cores. So in the end, things going fairly well for Twisted Fusion, and perhaps giving them some hope that even though they are down significantly in terms of golden experience, they're not completely out of this game quite yet. And if they can hold on for a little while longer, maybe 15 to 30 minutes, they're going to have Puppet Master and Swiftblade, neither of whom is farming particularly poorly. Swifty's substantially better than PM, and neither great, but they're both doing alright. And they will have a dual carry strat that can potentially go up against this Hellborn's single carry strat, especially because Bubbles is going to be less effective as the game goes on, Gauntlet's going to be less effective as the game goes on, Tempest is going to be wholly reliant on how good an ult he can drop, and with all the counters on Legion's side, it's not going to be a great one. So either way, late game or not, Kongor is going down, as Hellborn figuring they need a token if they want to push into the high ground once again. The advantage is, Hellborn do have relatively short cooldowns on their ultimates except for that Tempest, so they will be able to fight after this Kongor kill, either immediately or in a minute and a half, depending on whether or not they feel they need the Tempest ulti. And apparently they don't, as they're rushing as 5 to bottom. Shrunken Head is finished up on Warbeast as well, so that'll be very helpful, of course, in terms of stopping the magic damage, especially from Puppet Master and Plague Rider. It's not going to do too much against Swiftblade, but either way, it's a good item. And his Token of Life can help keep him alive anyway. So I would expect to see some split or some slow pushing here from the Hellborn team, as they've got the Warbeast Wolves and the Warbeast Puzzle Box minions, as well as the Tempest Elementals. So between those that various minion damage, they should be able to build this tower without really committing themselves to too much of a fight. Warbeast is kind of up in the front lines. Going to put some damage actually in the background. Swiftly going to put the Swift Slashes onto Tempest, but he's going to get away. Shrunken Head helping out quite a lot. Plague Rider in the background looking for something. will continuously do some stuff. Perhaps the ultimate actually gonna save Swiftblade for the time being, but it will be cancelled and he will eventually die as Count Crapula picks up a double tap. Voodoo Pup gonna go on to somebody, I'm not even sure who it's hitting, that's Bubbles, and that will be the first death for the Hellborn team. Warbeast ultimate gonna wear off, but Essence gonna help finish off this Pharaoh, and now Salim on the playground trying to run away, not gonna be able to, as the last auto attack from Gauntlet finishes him off, as the Enfeeble doing a lot of work right there. So Puzzle Box minions from Warbeast have worn off, but the rest of the Legion side is down to just Puppet Master, so this is definitely going to be a tier 3 tower. The middle lane is also pushing in already. Glyph Fortification goes off to try to slow this down a little bit. Pharaoh buys back. Again, actually, that's the second buyback, and Puppet Master's used one already. Did he? He didn't die in that fight. Yeah, I was pretty sure he didn't, so must have been previously. And this will be another bot racks. If they can focus it for half a second, Puppet Master's going to get locked down, though, and Tempest Ultimate going to be able to hit Pharaoh as well. So this is going to be 2 kills as the walls continuously push away the Warbeast, but I don't think it's going to matter for very long as the damage is just too good. Warbeast Ultimate still active, and the port actually canceled as PM uses a second buyback, but that's another lane of racks down on the TZP side, and this is just becoming a really, really serious issue. Puppeteer's hold is there, will lock Gauntlet down for a little bit, but it's not going to be long enough to actually get the kill on him or even substantially endanger him. So Hellborn side is going to back off. They suffer no casualties. In fact, didn't even use the token, which has 2.5 minutes left on it. And TZP lose a pretty significant team fight as well as a bot tower and a set of racks. And I'd like to see Hellborn just straight up push top right now. You have 2.5 minutes left on this token. You can definitely make more use of it. You've got your Tempest Ultimate down, but that's it. And Puzzle Box minions are back up too, so I'd like to see them all rotate top as 5, push a tower, see what they can get out of that, and may even be another set of racks, which would basically make this game. I think this is pretty much already game, as it's going to be very, very difficult for the Legion side, as currently constructed, to come back from 2 lanes of racks. Puppet Master with the Assassin Shroud looking for something, but realizing pretty quickly that the Hellborn team in general is pretty safe. Storm Spirit is there. Can he get the Aswan off? No, he cannot. Last auto attack from Swiftblade will kill Max, but now Swifty going to play for this, as here comes Puppet Master looking for something, but Warbeast in ulti form, and he's going to try to run away. In the background, actually, they do manage to get the kill onto Gauntlet, who immediately buys back. And top lane, Warbeast still with the token for a minute and a half, going to try to do something here. Perhaps he's going to get absolutely crushed. Shrunken head up from Count Crapula, has another hat trick, and I don't know when the GG is going to be called, but I imagine it's going to be pretty damn soon. Salim is going to take another couple of auto attacks from Catlow main. That'll be another death for him, and I mean, we're at 34.5 gold, 34 experience at this point. Another set of racks is going to die here, I would expect. So Warbeast can basically just be like, screw it, I've got a minute left in the token, what are you going to do to me? I've got wolves, there's Tempest Elementals, here goes the tower, that's really dead. And the racks are really dead. And GG's are being called, so no huge surprise there, as TZP ends up taking game 1 in this best out of 3, and basically looking like they were in control for the vast majority of that game, if not all of it, and taking a much deserved victory. So this is more or less what I was talking about when I said Twisted Fusion's had some issues recently about trying to find people to, or not trying to find people, but playing together. I mean, this is sort of a new team, as they've really remade themselves significantly the last couple of weeks, and have continued to do so even after the end of the cycle. TZP, on the other hand, they've gotten much more steady in terms of their roster. They've gotten steadier in their play, and they look a lot better than they did even a couple of cycles ago. So that's good. That game is a very good illustration of where these teams are headed at this point. TZP just look a little bit tighter, and Twisted Fusion making enough mistakes that they are unable to take the game. So game 1 is going to be done. We'll move on to game 2 in just a moment.